Marco Colbert Speedokote refinish that work. All right, it's another day. We're back with Alexis. We have a rear bumper repair today. The special thing about this rear bumper repair is we are going to be painting using the Harbor Freight budget setup we got behind us. We got the Mcgraw $164 air compressor. A lot of you guys are like, Marco, how are you going to do that? How are you going to just paint over that crack? We're actually not. We're going to be using the Harbor Freight plastic $16 welder. I don't know. We'll see what this thing does. It's a pretty big crack, but I think this thing will probably tackle it. We can at least body work it and make it look halfway decent. All right, so we open the box up. We're going to have looks like the welding device. We have some plastic rubber strips that basically melt into the bumper. We have this, which basically roughs up the plastic so that can stick. And rest assured, it's Harbor Freight. There's probably also directions in here as well for those of you guys who have never plastic welded before. Do you guys know the setup? Let's get to work. Heating up the crack and getting it ready to accept the new plastic, and then we're going to go ahead, place the plastic over top, and you want to use this iron and press the new plastic into that crack. You don't want to just get the new plastic on the top surface because it'll just re-crack. You want to press that hot steaming plastic inside of the crack, just like that. Press it down, pull it off, and then keep pressing that new plastic in there. Alright, so far so smooth, everything's coming out great. So, this is not the exact silver for this car. It's actually the silver I used for the front bumper. Blending within a panel, it's very crucial that you use color blender. That way you can go ahead, we have our base right here, and then we're going to take our color blender, mix 50-50 with our base coat out to about right here. That way you don't see that transition in color, kind of fools the eye. The color blender mixes 1-to-1. So here's what we're going to do. We got 60 milliliters left of our paint. We're going to add 30 milliliters of the color blender, and then we're going to take add another 30 milliliters of reducer. That way everything's cordial, shake it up, and we'll be good to go to start blending out our panel. Guys don't already have a gallon of Speedokote color blender in your arsenal of supplies, you have to get it. Look at that smooth transition in color. Look at that. And the color blender also fills in prep scratches, and it creates a nice, clean, smooth surface to clear over. and get that glass finish that you guys are all looking for. That wraps it up for this one. Super happy with our finished result. Blended that color out really nice with a color blender. You almost can't even tell. It looks really good. 2 wet coats of the SMR 135. Guys, this clear has yet to fail me. It is probably the best clear in my arsenal. I love it, especially for bumper and panel jobs. This clear is amazing. As for the budget setup, we used the Harbor Freight gun for the primer, but unfortunately, for some reason, I couldn't get that fluid nozzle to loosen up. I guess it was put on super tight. I was comfortable using it for primer, but not comfortable using it for base and clear, being I couldn't get that fluid nozzle out to make sure that there was no contaminants or grease or anything behind that. Especially those types of guns, they're made in mass production factories. They usually like to use a little bit of grease in there for some reason. So yeah, you got to take those apart to clean them before you can use them. However, on the other hand, the compressor held up perfectly fine. Even when the compressor dropped to like 70 to 80 psi, it was still putting out really good air pressure at the gun. Not perfect, but good enough to spray. All right, that wraps it up for this one. Like, subscribe, new videos every week.